Dire team ban. 10 seconds to go.
Here we go, it has begun. We got Extreme Gaming on the Radiant side, Team Falcons on the Dire side, and the drafting has begun. The strategic part of how these two teams will try to get their first victory on the board in this best of 5. Let's see how the teams have prepared versus each other, and let's see how it differs from the series they played earlier last week. We already have a very nice stylistic change. I do love the respect that XM is getting on his sniper there, Effie.
You really have to respect this hero and its ability to come out during the grand finals, because this is his pocket pick. This is his hero that he never loses lane with. And you know what? Just take the way, enable Mallory, and that's the play that Falcons are going to make here. For Extreme Gaming, they just take out that Sand King. They don't want to deal with it. They don't want to try to let it through and beat it. And now they've got first pick. Maybe they could look towards their XXS Earthshaker, but they've got their freedom of choice here, Kazu.
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna be a lot about these heroes that we've seen banned out a lot, right? You have Falcons, like Mars is available for the pool. It's gonna be on the eyes of both teams. And yeah, like you said, I love this ban. You wanna make sure that you stay in the comfort and don't give something to the enemy team that's gonna take you out of your comfort. And XM, on these really nasty and annoying heroes, that's his specialty.
It's the exact same bans that XG did against Falcons the last time that they played. And they first picked Shaker in that position. I'm interested to know if they are to do that. Falcons, they first picked Shaker earlier in the tournament and got, annihilated. So they know how to deal with it. And instead, XG, they go for the Mars. Again, we do have two of the most experienced Mars players in the world now in this grand final between XSS and ATF.
I love this Mars pick. You know it's going to be contested in this draft, but they're saying that their offlane player, XXS, he's been owning this entire tournament. Let's first pick his hero. Who cares counters? Who cares how the early game goes? We'll just get him that Blink Dagger, and he will create situations for us.
Then I'd like Falcons to respond straight away, just like the Pangolier. You've already banned the pup, the sniper. Against the arena, you have that chaos. If XG is going to go for comfort, why not allow Falcons to match the picks with comfort for themselves?
What I love too, when you have two of the best teams playing like their best heroes, it really goes to show you what they value and what they feel like they want to do against you. Like, what do you need to pick with it? What do you need to ban against it? And here's the Pangolier. Really nice call there. You have a super good with the team fight matching. Looks great.
Yeah, both heroes fit in a lot of different strategies, so not giving away too much here either, and maybe even some flex still possible. It's not likely, but it is possible.
It absolutely is possible, and I feel like if you're also going to look at the bans, both of these heroes require a lot of similar things for them, right? You want this follow-up damage into the teamfight, so the Hoodwinks, the Snaps, very likely that Falcons have their eyes on it, same for Extreme Gaming, and if one of them gets banned out, the other gets picked, gonna have to look further down the list.
The question is, do you think XG is going to start trying to enable the Mars by banning out difficult heroes for the Mars to initiate on? Or is it more thinking about the wider game? At the moment, they're still going towards taking away the Malrine specialties, right? The Shakers, but something to think about potentially for future picks.
I think they're thinking of the wider game right now, because if you're first picking your offlaner, you're saying that it doesn't matter how the laning stage goes. We just want this hero for us. And on the topic of Snapfire, that has to be the most contested support between these two teams. It's looked great in the hands of Extreme Gaming. They flex it between 4 and 5. And if you give this hero to crit, we've seen him do magic with it.
Especially when it comes to ultra late game, of course. Which you have to keep in mind, I think.
Okay, so let's see for Falcons. The out of pick phase is very likely for them gonna be this crit type hero that we have talked about, very likely on the Snapfire. If you're Falcons, it would be nice if you can keep the Pangolier open, whether it goes mid or it does go into the offlane. And also with a lot of these mids getting banned out, I would not mind if Marine ends up playing it, but you need to kind of ban for it too, so that Extreme don't like force you to put it into the offlane, because there's a lot of Armar heroes that can be quite good against the Mars. You know, maybe some Underlord where every time you arenas you gate over, you drop the pipe. If any of these two teams know what a Mars wants, they've got the exact correct players for it.
And it will be a ban to the Troll for the ban, the one ban that Falcons had, and the non-surprising Snapfire. I'm sure that also Extreme Gaming knows that this hero would come out at this stage. They opted to ban out the Beastmaster and the Shaker. No harm in that either. Very strong heroes in the hands of Falcons.
I think Snapfire in particular goes up in value if you see an offlaner very early, because you can see if it's a pipe buyer or not. Mars, this hero does not really buy pipe for his team. That's usually the way that teams will play against early game magic damage. Mars has a different archetype though. He's that Yules into Blink Fire, into BKB, into Refresher. And XG snag up a Hoodwink of their own, the follow-up damage to their Sun.
The question for XG is, do they want to double pick support here and then enable Falcons to kind of know exactly what they're laning into in regards to the support powers?
I mean, it would be, I think it's okay if you pick your 5 here just because you know that most likely you are up against the Snap. Like, you're either up against Snap X or Snap Pango.
So then like a Bane where you can play most lanes.
I was looking at it too, but it's sadly banned.
Oh, is it? Oh, on first phase banned. Yeah, I'm blind. But they go for the Elder Titan.
Yeah,
Nova had an incredible game yesterday with it.
He's been so good on this hero for years. Even in like the prime LGD days, they were very good at always. You have the range carry on Ame, you get the ET on X Nova in the 5. They lane so well together. It's super good with Mars too, right? Mars goes in and he just wants this abundance of AoE spells being thrown into. They've played this combo many times before. Great pick.
They did this exact opening earlier in the playoffs against Nigma, right? If you replace the Hoodwink with Snapfire, that's the opening they have. But even, we talk about Snap and Hoodwink, it's kind of the same hero for what it does on the map, but it's such a formidable opening. It can pretty much activate any future core picks. It can play any type of game. Like, this is probably the strongest draft opening I think XG could do.
Especially for what it is that they want to do. They want to team fight. They want to out-execute in that mid-game, not based off of their lanes, but based off of how well they spellcast. And they're just going to triple down on the team fight here, I'm sure, with their next few picks. But what they need right now is damage to take advantage of ET's buff. You need that Leshrac-style mid laner that is really going to pump out the DPS.
Honestly, it's going to feel good doing that because Falcons, they're picking the Enchantress. They're going for that pace in that early game pressure that enabled them to, you know, put P-Vision to the lower bracket. And now against XG, the same formula could work, right? If you break your lanes, take these early towers, it's not going to be a 4-kill game at 15-20 minutes. XG, they have to respect Falcons are going to play a really strong early game.
Yeah, and most likely from the start, this is usually where they end up taking Skeeter's hero, right? You keep the Pango open between like your 2 and 3. You don't really want to show. Sven is something that they've played before. I mean, it's nice if you can get a BKB hero because you are going up against the Mars, against the Hoodwink. You have the edge. Because Falcons, this is also no surprise to XG. You have seen these heroes before. You know what they're going to do in the early game. But at the top level of Dota, you can show your cards, but if you execute perfectly, it is really hard to play into it. It's also where the troll ban comes in kind of handy. It's good for the Sven. So now for XG, where do you want to go? They've shown us like a Medusa before because Ame, he wants the carry-to-carry matchup. He can have it if he wants to. This is his pick if he wants to have it.
It's the Medusa or the Ursa. That's where I'm leaning. If you want to go for not dying to the burst and the jump, you can go for the Ursa. You then follow up with your Arena. And then the Medusa, like you mentioned, also very, very strong. The only question mark would be Panglid, Diffusal Blade. Is that annoying enough to scare you from picking it? If it isn't, also very, very good.
And this pick for Extreme Gaming is the most important pick in the draft. They have 2 bans afterwards to protect it. And of course, it is the other team, it's Falcons, that is getting the overall last pick. So if you want to protect any pick in your draft, this is it. And it will be the Ursa, so that will be Ame's hero for this one.
Yeah, it just gives you that ability to kind of clutch up in the moments. Like a lot of the iconic clips from XG in this tournament have been, you know, pumping in a Lotus or a quick turnaround play, and why not put Ame on a hero that can throw themselves into these vulnerable positions and let the rest of his team shine, and then he'll turn it around.
He gives them like all the follow-up damage that they're looking for, and still it keeps XM open, right? Sure, you have to ban a lot of heroes against this guy. It's one of my favorite guys when it comes to actually XXS, XM, standout performance, and you've got to be careful. This guy can absolutely turn the game on its head.
It's a really great pick in terms of also jumping the backline. You have this ET who, with the Spirit, is going to be able to scout out heroes for you in team fights. You want the ability to instantly connect with them, either with an arena and just burst them down really quickly. The only issue is Ursa ET on lane, you're going to play against either Snap or Enchantress. It's most likely the Snap, and maybe even a Pango off lane. And in that case, he's going to suffer a little bit. Like, his entry into the game will be slower. Ursa is not renowned for his laning unless he's paired with something like a Disruptor.
So they're banning out the Huskar to respect the fact they need Ursa to get into the game, right? Yep. The last time that Amar played Viper competitively was 4 months ago. What stops Amar doing something like this as well? Like, I fully break the lane, my Sven will farm, my Pango goes active, they will win me the game, but as long as I do the breaking of the first 15-20 minutes, like, that's the thinking I'm having, is because if Amar's happy to Huskar, he'll be happy to bring out any other hero to dominate the lane. And there's the Storm Leshrac bans that you mentioned earlier.
I will say that if there is any team that has Viper on their radar always...
I think I remember.
Go again, go again.
Oh my gosh,
One more.
This man got so many legends on there.
10 seconds.
All right. Has he got more?
There will be more.
5.
Oh,
that's
nice.
that's
All right. Little hipster.
We gotta fix that one.
Very nice.
Ooh, very, very. Ooh, blink. Oh, my guy.
Going back. Oh, there we go. The
That's
legend.
a good one.
Yeah.
Instead, they ban out the Doom
This
again.
man
Very,
must
very
be
stable.
really warm.
Oh, yeah.
Great way to close it out.
It is a great way to close it out, and it is closed out by the Queen of Pain on Extreme Gaming. That will be their hero for XM.
This one was a no-brainer pick for XG here. They lacked range damage and the ability to instantly blink in and follow up. Storm gets taken out, Lesh, who builds Blink Dagger, gets taken out. All that's left is for Queen of Pain with the Sonic Wave to give you that added damage. XG are looking to blink in, take the fights quickly, burst them, and then re-engage.
And building on that as well, they also have kiting, right? If they are to blink in and maybe misinitiate, Ursa can disengage, Cop can disengage, ET can assist the fight to ensure that the secondary fight also looks quite good. The layering on XG's lineup ensures that this game is going to have points of pressure any single time.
So you can decide, do you want Pango to go in the mid lane, or do you want Amar to play it on the off lane?
I mean, you can go mid, but you do take quite a beating from the Queen of Pain. It's not your favorite matchup. You could say similar things for the offlane, even though I feel like maybe with the Snap 4, you can like try to offset the lanes. So to me, it's more about what they value more. Like, what do they also feel like they need from the game? You have two guys that jump in. Like, your draft covers quite a lot. So if you care more about the lanes, you could go for a pretty heavy laning hero here.
They only have 10 seconds to think about what to do with this final pick, and here it is. Oh, it's an Ember Spirit. We don't get to see that man on the main stage that often this weekend.
So they went for this Ember just because they wanted to secure that mid lane matchup versus the Queen of Pain. They want something that can just stay on lane versus it, not get bullied out, and try to match its tempo.
Yeah, not only that, it provides so much vision throughout the game. The lockdown available for XG is quite limited. So if Maureen's going in first, baiting Exos to ever waste a spear or arena, and then activates the rest of his lineup to go in, and then you throw in a Pangolier with the Rolling Thunder as well, vision and information will be always on the side of Falcons if they're the one going in first.
So if you're playing Hoodwink and ET versus Ember Spirit, who's having a good start and is getting these runes,
You
good
hate
luck.
your life.
Good luck, because you cannot defend yourself against this hero. For Falcons, they have their typical map play style of mid. They're going to have their initiation from the off lane. They're going to have Malrine building these early items and running at people, and the double supports farming the entire map. The question for XG is if they can match that pace in the early game and get to the point where they can blink and instantly take these fights, because that early game looks tough.
Yeah, you got to have a lot of mid focus, right? We've already spoke about Ember and what they can do, but also Queen of Pain, right? If Queen of Pain pops off and every time you go somewhere you're getting a kill, it could buy enough time for the items of the Mars to fix some of their lockdown issues, or the items on the Ursa to ensure he has that burst potential. I think mid lane is such a critical matchup in this game one.
Yeah, I really love these two drafts. Like, the way I see it too is that Falcons, they have this early to mid game that they usually have, and then they might taper off a little bit, you know, against Extreme Armor. He's got his Ursa against the Sven matchup, but I also like that Falcons, they covered their like late game. The refresher on the Ember, the refresher on the Pango, the 5-slot, the 6-slot. Sven, you know, doesn't do too well there, but then his teammates come in again with the network to back it up. So we're in for a long game. We're in for a lot of fights and absolute banger team fighting.
Oh, that would be fantastic. I do have one final question to you. You say that this mid matchup super important here with the Queen of Pain and the Ember. How much help are they going to get from the supports? How much help can we expect they get?
Falcons could be tri-laning mid lane. With an Ench and a Snapfire, they're going to be running mid. But XG, they do have the arena. It feels like on their side as well. So they do have like a sixth man, and that sometimes historically has helped. And yeah, again, Falcons, the early game, it is looking very, very good.
Okay, let's see. I'm sure that the coach agrees, and that's where we're heading to right now, because Tsunami is standing with AUI 2000.
Thank you very much. Yes, indeed, I am standing by AUI 2000, coach of Falcons, and you are no stranger to this, my friend. In 2022 in Singapore with Tundra coaching Grand Finals. I was wondering if you could maybe take me back in time about that team's journey to Grand Finals versus how Falcons have made it here.
I mean, honestly, for both teams, it's just been an incredibly rewarding journey. I mean, standing in this crowd, like being able to play in front of them, it's all every Dota player dreams of. So I think we're just all grateful to be here.
Let's hear it for just the spirit of competition. Now, I'm sure you have a very vivid memory of how that last grand final went. Upper bracket final, you played against Team Secret. It went to 3 games. They went down to lower bracket, had to play 3 games against Liquid. And how did your grand final go after that?
It was good. It was 3-0.
It was good. It was 3-0. Now we're in a similar situation. You went to 3 games against Extreme, and now they're back. Well, actually, no. It was P-Vision, actually. The equation has changed.
Yeah, it's different.
Everything's up in the air now.
I mean, I would love a 3-0, but honestly, I sort of hope for 5 games, you know? We actually respect Extreme a lot as a team, so we're super happy to play them now.
Then let's hear it for the potential of this grand final. Hamburg, make some noise for this grand final!
Welcome to the International, everybody. Let's kick this shit off with a bang. It's China striking first blood.
Cannot be more fitting. A return in bounce. East versus West will grace the grand finals one more time as Ame returns to claim his throne. An uncrowned king against a king already crowned. You could not ask for a better storyline going into this immaculate TI.
That's right. There is so much history that goes into the International. And a large part of that old history, some of you might remember, was that balance of power. It was China versus the world. Every odd year, an international team would win. Every even year, a Chinese team would win. For 7 years, this was true until Ame and LGD fell to OG at TI8.
History was written, and once more we return to write history in the stars. Can XG make the miracle happen? Can they make this tough road through the lower bracket, return to a finals, a 3rd appearance for some of these players? They have consistently fallen short, but perhaps this is their moment to put their name on that Aegis. They are against a very tough opponent in Falcons. They have been dominating this meta. They have been setting the trends. They have their comfort picks. It's not a question of knowing what they're going to play. It's a question of how do you beat what they play, because everybody knows the heroes that are going to come out from these playmakers. Can you out-team fight them? Can you out-skirmish them? That is the challenge ahead in this series for XG.
Already see XM and Malrine trading blows, as we will see in hopefully 5 games of this series.
Oh yeah.
XM has already taken a bit of a lead here at 10-2, and it seems like all the lanes are going well for Extreme, as another 10-0 for Ame. Seems that, do you feel like Extreme Gaming put a bit more emphasis on the lanes against Falcons?
If anything, I think they did it against P-Vision. They had to learn how to not get run over in some of these lower bracket series. The European team's laning stage is insane. You have to come prepared for it. You cannot give them too much room, too much tempo, particularly when you give up these tempo supports. The Chen, the Enchantress, you can't ban them all. Snaking's going to get something in this game. If Amar is on one of those tempo setters like the Bristleback, for example, these games can spiral very quickly off a laning stage win. XG need to step up their first 10 minutes in this series if they want to have a good chance of competing. But that said, they also made some crazy comebacks.
Yes.
This is a team, you cannot count them out at any point in that game. And this is another lineup that can just scale like a beast across all 3 cores. I like that they went for the first pick Mars. That's a dominance move. We're taking it away from ATF. We're going to get it for XXS early. We don't care if we have to first pick it. We want him comfortable. We want him controlling the fights. And by God, has this man had a TI. He absolutely has to be in the front running for this MVP right now.
100%. I mean, he saved Extreme Gaming's life in that lower bracket final. In fact, in the lower bracket in its entirety, he has come up for Extreme time and time again, and he is a large reason why they are here in this finals. Ame, he's trying to put some pressure onto Amar where he can in this Ursa versus Pango matchup, but the mobility is not allowing him to do so. Amar, 19-2, doing the best of his comrades when it comes to the CS.
And we do see the support swap from Falcons. This Elder Titan's going to be a pivotal hero in this matchup. It's something that XG are going to more and more. It's a crazy teamfight scaler, something to give them confidence in the late game. Downside is it does have some rough lane matchups. Falcons are trying to abuse this Enchantress with the Dispel against X-Nova. Get that lane win in the off lane for Amar. Does require you to put crit into that safe lane. You lose a little comfortability, but you gain really good support matchups.
Selamat malam.
Certainly feels like a lot of draft threats on the table no matter who wins in this game, right? If all of a sudden the Elder Titan is kicked to the side and this Enchantress reigns supreme as a support, we've seen how when the games start going late, any support that is able to fight for themselves has big value.
And also, we have the two biggest support ranged playmakers in this meta, the Hoodwink and the Snap.
Knocked back by the God's Rebuke, will not be able to get a stun off. A second kill for Extreme in this laning phase as they are up now 1,000 gold.
This is such a strong duo. You can't ask for more in this meta right now. Terrifying lane to go up against. And the fact you had to put Crit up here to try and get that Enchantress ET matchup does hurt Crit a little bit because these Snaps and Hoodwinks want to play with the offlaner. They want to get aggressive. They want to use the early spell power to build momentum. Already online for Xingqiu. Super strong right now. Lots of damage. Xingqiu stepping a bit too far forward, trying to pressure Skeeter. Takes a lot of damage. They even threw the blood grenade at him, but they couldn't go for the kill. While Amar goes down, they trade out cores. X-Nova, can he beat down Snake King? One more hit, he's got it. A 2-for-1 special, and the action returns at the top lane, as this time it's Crit who puts his life in danger and does not manage to get out of it. I was maybe a little concerned for XG laning-wise coming into this series, but already they are hitting the mark. This XXS Mars is the most farm hero coming out of this laning phase. They even get a kill with that on the Pango, not expected, and so much XP for X-Nova on an amazing hero to get early levels on in this Elder Titan. Already has the boots online, already level 4, putting points into that natural order. You combine this with some of the Queen damage later, the Mars damage later. They have such good teamfight combinations. If you're Falcons, you need to get this Ember off to a good start. Play through him, let him drive the pace of the game. Don't let XG set up these big fights around Sean where they're super confident in their AoE control.
Bondage.
Trying to stop it. Another stun comes in. XM is able to get the blink away, and GQ is the one to pick up the arcane rune instead. A little bit of HP fed over.
Chơi này hiếp pula ha. Mèo. Hoodwink tội dia. Hoodwink Mars.
Xingqiu just playing with them. This early Urn creates such a threat.
Malah board shaker.
He's basically just fighting two supports in the river, taking the rune away from Maureen. That's a huge win.
Untuk lihat nó siang mà, Hoodwink à, sợ thẻ à, vừa put the support, ulti tu hiểu break à.
Stun slow break.
But he's needed in the mid lane. They pop a glyph here, and depending on how much Falcons want to tank here, they have another chance. So another creep to be able to take this tower. A few more siege wagon hits, and then another round of creeps will enter into the tower. So this siege wagon, it's going to get well below half here. The Spirit only just now showing up, but what do you even do as an Elder Titan this early?
Ooh.
Not a lot. Tough matchups. You don't interact well with the Ember Spirit. You don't have the lockdown for him.
Mati. Nyaris.
Puisi.
Tak apalah. Daripada mati. Amar pango. Siu. Pango.
Extreme got to be very happy as their supports are going to get their level 6s before Falcons.
Huge advantage gained off that play from Ame, getting aggressive on that battle line. He even forced double support TP there that yielded nothing for Falcons. So now, if you want to get aggressive top with this Mars, no support can come in for Skeeter. If you want to get
Falcon
Hah?
like how does Skeeter even play top anymore? It's a level 6 Mars and a
Ayo, Ame bisa.
Falcon ya kau je tu.
He's got to abandon this lane.
Tapi Ursa sih bisa.
Maureen tries to get it and doesn't manage to grab it. Regen into the bottle.
Nice pickup for him.
Jadi dia yang jadi ya. Falcon soi jadi ya, si Ursa soi jadi.
Jadi final best of 3 atau best of 5?
Best of 5.
Biasa best of 5 kan?
Best of 5.
Oh, cool ya.
Ya kalau
saya apa me?
Kalau dia
Saji, kalau Gigi tuh.
You're going to bleed out towers. Yes, you just got to try and slow it down as much as possible.
Especially with the lane swap they did. When this Enchantress plays from the off lane, those moves behind the tier 1s are incredibly dangerous, and they're a lot more fluid for Snake King to make than if he was stuck in that safe lane, trying to secure farm for the Sven.
Snake King did not make the read there. That a ward was placed on that high ground. He gets his own really good laning ward, though.
Ame hunting him here in the jungle.
Pak Wei sih.
MC silaw mati ni.
Ôi,
Mati.
Pixie.
Cái cop may chăng à?
Ôi,
Ha, cop nhật.
Nice enchant for the dispel and the overpower. Ame trying to hold it, snaking holds longer.
And of course, anybody who shows up in the top lane is going to die. It's just a matter of time.
siêu Mars.
Hmm.
Mati Mars.
Looks like the Mars in big trouble. GQ was not able to chase after Crit.
Gor.
It's going to be XXS to fall instead as Falcons bring 4 up to top. They do not want to be losing these early towers.
That was a big committal. I mean, you're showing all 3 cores on this top lane to bring down that Mars, who was having a fantastic time. That's a big kill. But it does give a lot of space to the Ursa, more space for XM on the mid. Gotta look towards this 10-minute power. If he can grab it here, it would be a huge win for XG. Maureen looking for an amp damage or a haste to accelerate his game.
Once again, Maureen going to try and outclick XM for it, but this time XM gets the bottle. With a haste rune, not required to pop it just yet. He's able to blink away.
Caro.
That Ember. Yeah, that is super dangerous around the map. I mean, there's no Sonic Wave thrown in this game.
Yeah, we got to start establishing our own threats from the mid lane if you're Extreme Gaming. You're looking around where the Sonic Wave has been off cooldown for like 4 minutes now. We just haven't put it to use.
It's easily a move he can make to top, right? If you have this arena on top, anybody that shows there, just arena him into the Sonic Wave. Even if reinforcements come in, that can be a great fight. You can connect through the gate. It's kind of your best point of attack right now. You can also continue to hold it here and use it defensively. If you want Ame to continue playing bottom against some of the threat that the Pango holds, the Queen can counterplay that a little bit.
Selamat tinggal.
Playing games with XXS and Jinky once again, but this time around Extreme,
Power
a
liều à?
lot more heroes to the mix. Falcons decline to do the
Oh,
same.
giết đấy rồi.
They'll give up the tower finally and make a trade-off of their own.
XG của siêu tinh hả?
A lot of trades happening in this game, but man, Chris
Đang chơi Ame.
in this early game, losing the wisdom shard
Rất tốt rồi.
because he had to play more sacrificial on that safe lane to give Sven some of that XP.
Rất safe lên.
4.5 right now. I don't know when you're going to have kisses in this game, but it's not going to be for a while. And to me, this has been the spell that's defined this hero at this TI. You know, heroes come and change, the spells come and change, but right now, getting kisses online fast, taking fights around that ult, super powerful long-range damage. We've seen it just win team fights straight up. We saw what Jinq did with it in the previous series. The more this is delayed,
Nó
the
thấy
more
cái này posisi warding rồi.
if Ame gets off to a fast start.
Siêu à? Của vị trí hờ.
Nó warding blind spot rồi.
Inang cha tu bố mẹ khối hiệu chuẩn phí xuyên tapi thôi nang quay deh. Cuma kalau nang bracket kan map awareness so au.
Iya.
Bộ nang thêm min map
And Skeeter's here looking for the fight. There's nothing to fight. He'll just pick up the rune and go back to the jungle. Huge kill in this Ember Spear. That's the fast Mage Slayer on the Falcons.
Spend mom.
Every time you take him off the map, you buy so much time for your other cores.
Yeah, and Skeeter he will have the luxury of stacks.
Chứ sẽ hero thì muốn đánh có efficient mà
Extreme do
madness.
not have that same luxury. 9 more stacks that Extreme have done. I mean, when you have that kind of imbalance,
Cho mẹ.
Extreme have to get aggressive, right? There's no other option.
Đi đằng.
Start stacking
Ang
him
go.
claim early
Cái
Roshan,
crystal này.
start taking some more team fights.
Tâm tạo cho last
Part
game.
about this game is you won the Wisdom Shrine battle,
Cái này bối sắp rồi.
but are ahead in XP.
Di futsal jadi yo.
Because Skeeter just got so much more out of this jungle. This
Sudah
this level
jadi
11
di
is
futsal.
couple runs ahead of the nearest core. So their supports are behind.
Ame BF support dan
Some cores that can absolutely just win the fight, even if
Tower
the
Leo,
supports are lacking some net worth.
Kalau
I'm just
tower di
happy we
bawah.
get to see 2 cores that do not build Helmadon.
There's not
Ah.
gonna be a single
si
element.
mid BM boleh jadi ke?
Another Wisdom Shrine is coming
Kok-
up. Crowd happy as they've been all day.
Tak ada yang bikin dominator
Die
kan?
somewhere in the lower bracket.
Yes.
As these teams just want to duke it out.
Dominator.
Maureen still
Tak
looking for that
ada.
Mage Slayer, but very strong on the front line as long as he doesn't get bushwhacked into the burst damage.
Trying to get the slight change.
Ôi heo nhìn Sven với Dominator bộ anh thì farm được về.
Sewa.
Cliff hả?
And this smoke
Một sao BF full bộ anh rồi.
And items flying in for XG right now. They dodge that fight. They get Blade Mail on the Quap. They get Yules on the Mars. Early fighting items now online. 14-minute wisdom shrines are spawning. Looks like they're just going to get traded out here unless Nova wants to try something.
Ember. Ember ay magic.
Double damage.
Ember ay magic.
Bushwhack that we saw, but now he's going to be running into potentially Mars, who just Yule's arena spears easy. Super
Mars Eul.
A lot of threat coming out from XXS right now. Downside is you
Oh,
don't
yeah,
have to reach
block.
something like the Blink Dagger, so it's a little harder to just make an aggressive smoke play with
Ready to gang.
If you get the right angle, you just run into heroes, phase boots into the Yules, it'll do the job, and yeah, that ward scouted that out.
That first move with this Yules, it's going to be red. Smoked right underneath a laning ward.
Nó đâu phải carry được, nó trong việc chịu xóa.
Just be able to pummel this tower.
Ya farming kau jadi yang class.
Don't want to give up this tier 1 for free.
Sure, and maybe find the sacrificial support position. Yep. Here comes that play.
Mà
Even had the scan on the mid lane
Oh,
right next to
contest mid.
XMs.
And an Ops.
Who was next to him?
Ops placed right under Sentry up top.
We're gonna try for it. Rolling Thunder. Amar. The chains, but he doesn't pull the trigger.
Eh,
just
sa
yet.
pen lah ya.
If the tower's not gonna fall,
Oh,
there's just
Maunang.
really no need.
That's not a fight you want to force.
Lima
This
lawan.
can't damage Ember.
Ursa bauhin.
Not the
Ewa.
timing to do
Oh,
it.
jadi BF oh.
Ursa's just not going to join the fight. Battle Fury was just finished for Ameg a minute ago. He's cruising in the farm department. He's having a great time. No pressure on him right now. Recovering his disadvantage against the Sven, who had all of those ancient stacks earlier. Does not want to be dragged into a bad engagement for a tier 1.
Tak ada yang rajia lah. Tuh.
Falcons make a show of a 5-man defense in the mid lane. After the tower's defended, back to hitting neutrals. They really haven't gotten... They haven't ground out that usual lead that Falcons tends to do after a laning phase. Extreme is still keeping up despite the stack disparity.
Difficult team to grind it out against.
Why is that?
They're just resilient around the map. They rarely give up really bad core deaths. I mean, the games that are spiraling are going to spiral for anybody, but I feel like they just don't feed in poor places.
Titan.
It's usually getting late super deep.
Ooh.
Okay, the Croaker. Yeah, Snaky had that well under control. There was no problem there whatsoever.
Là nó chuyện Elder Titan à.
Time to get aggressive.
Ewa. Crowd control bagus bang.
Let him bring these supports back into the game in a really nice position.
Lihat dia, Hoodwink. Dead.
Slight chains, kisses. And XXS is biding his time, waiting for Malrine to show, but the kisses give too much information. They have to back away.
Oh, dagger oh. Amar dagger oh.
Very little XG can do about it unless they are just baiting someone out and going and using it.
Yeah, as you said, the core is not being picked off, but they do manage to find some support kills.
Actually don't mind this kind of style. Like, they're willing to give up some part of the map early on in a game to push it later, to get their item timings, and take that fight. Even if it's at a 5 or 6k net worth disadvantage, they believe in their execution. They believe in their timing. They're going to overcome that, particularly around the Roche bit. We have seen this team dominate Roche on fights. We have been their signature sauce for this event.
I was about to say, if anything's going to give them even more confidence, it's going to be that lower bracket finals, game 3. They played against a net worth advantage the entire time, and still had the confidence that they were going to be able to pull through, and they sure did.
I mean, at this point, just believe XXS is going to win you the Roche on fight because he's done it time and time again.
Yeah, just give up every Roche. Just make sure XXS is in a position to make the steal.
There's the Blink Dagger for the Mars. He was thinking about BKB or Blink, but he opts for the Blink. Tells me XG want to get aggressive here in the next few minutes. If you can get a team fight on top of Falcons with you being the initiator, particularly on that Pangolier or Ember, it can break that fight open, especially if it's around the pit, straight into Roshan for this Ursa. This is a really pivotal moment in this game for Falcons to defend their map.
Amar là hero pool pun ang sang xe là Pango si Hyung là
Pango Mars.
Pango Mars. Diba?
Blinks are also online for Falcons. Pango Blink, Sven Blink, instant smoke. Falcons are going to look to do what XG just
Leo, mati Ember.
Oh, nice. Leo.
Yes. Yeah.
Nhiều. Oh.
Đi kiểu sa pen chọc.
Oh, lấy Sven không? Leo. Hiểm chay không?
Sa pen gì đâu.
Nice.
Pen gì đâu.
Ayo XG. Kita menangkan Arcana.
CC nang.
Nice.
Mati 4 orang.
early in the game, and he will clean house. The exact team fight XG we're looking for. Started a little differently for them, but a beautiful pin from XXS. He burst down the Ember. That's what you want. Ember or Pango every single time. It's a recipe for success.
And he could have gone for the same play of the Yules, but it would have been an entirely different fight. The execution was fast, and that's what kept Falcons out of it.
He gets to hold Arena for later on, and that's what's kind of dissuading Skeeter here. Like, he doesn't want to jump this Swing, who's already dying. He doesn't want to jump that blade beyond Quap. He wants the Mars. He got sick cleaves off him, almost kills XM with that angle. But Ame, better positioning, better moment to jump.
I mean, it all starts with the Ember Spirit pickup, right? He can play the longer game because they're up a man in that regard. 100%. Skeeter forced to do something. XM trying to force a play here.
Stomp with misses.
It covers at least the retreat from XM. Falcons go back to their side of the jungle. Despite the loss in that mid lane, not that big of a net worth lead for Extreme. We're still keeping this game very tight at 20 minutes, though. Extreme, they want the Tormentor. They're going to smoke up for it. Falcons will do the same.
Rajin Tormentor ah itu. Nang cek mak. Kok jarang Tormentor.
Could be super pivotal at locking down these mobile cores here. Smoke breaks on XXS. XXS.
Wih, boleh jadi aku mah.
Hoku kok ya. Cita dia. Oh,
Iya. Kita dia ya. Yuk banget.
Selamat ya.
Mid-nya nih.
Enchantress. Ya.
Bobo Ember. Total.
Lah, keep ya.
Ember jam seisi ya.
Udah puingin ki ya. Terdisable dengan cantik.
Such strong early item timings from XG and XXS, finding the spears time and time again. Just sets everything up in this fight. Malrina's not been able to play a single fight other than him just getting nuked down instantly. Yeah.
Tormentor. Sudah Tormentor.
Casual stomp from X-Nova. That's how this Elder Titan gets you. He can throw the spirit out. He can wait for a slight. And then he's going to force you to remnant out or you get stomped and you don't know what's coming after that stomp.
Tapi ya combo bagus sih. Mars ulti, Titans ya disable ini. Bêu trao ya Ember.
Chắc dịch hồi xưa game 3 rồi mà. Warlock hiểu ha. Untuk class itu siang. Game 3 pari itu untuk class Bome Heo CC.
Sih, makanya kalau Inang awal-awal kan yakin ya lo. Inang lumayan push ah. Satanic ayo push tower. Mona Aiki. Inang ke Rosan Satanic malah tho. Ke Rosan ya. Blunder.
Siohu.
Min Siohu ba? Ya kayak Beastmaster TSC. Agak anim.
Hilang momentum, kesalahan bodoh.
Minimal itu yo barang.
Sudah. Ya enggak ya guys. Timingnya sesuai senta. That's guys. Stone jip kak. Buka kak sileu ya.
Stone Ame Ki langsung ya Stone Gas. Ya ke Beastmaster boy ulti.
And not really on big consequential heroes, and as a result, Ame is up at 13k now.
It's also a hero that takes that mid tower very quickly, and then you kind of collapse the game to that mid lane. You make them fight your Ember when he's really strong. You make their supports engage this hero that they have trouble locking down. I think XG dodged that pretty well. Falcons didn't get a lot out of that, 5 to 15 minute mark as they wanted to, especially with some of the power runes going to Malrine.
Sure, they gave up the mid tower. They didn't actually fight for it. They even denied
Magic
Ember. The amount of gold that Falcons got out of it.
They didn't bleed bad kills, which would have snowballed this game, and they won the side lanes. That was a huge component. XXS got off
Magic Ember tapi Ursa bocil.
Now you're cruising into this mid game very even.
Anh quá, nhưng thầu xây phố vô dụng là SF Magic chẳng lâu rồi. Ulti ho to bố mẹ mẹ. Bố heo mẹ mẹ. Bố mắc lại kanan nhân theo bột tin cờ. Tôi siêu phạ. Kamu ni mak mom ah.
Ya asli kesenjangan draft.
Salah build Pogo. Tapi hengkap pack bangsat. Wing atos.
Nokain burst damage aja Ursaga Sven.
Tapi Sven peknya sih. Nonton host flash. Yo cliff ah.
Cekai BF, cekai pasif. Jadi yang rot ya.
Tapi Pango sih how disarm lah.
Himo lagi shot tiok disarm lah. Bo tiok silence ya. Bo mereka.
Yang smoke oh. Yang smoke aja lihat. Yo yang triangle tapi botak. Kita langsung. Wah ini siap-siap clash.
Lagi gak lau. Nokai smoke.
Nokai caw.
Tidak berjodoh.
Oh dia. Oh dia.
They're gonna get in position here,
What?
but Ame's still gonna keep farming up. He's so close to his BKB. I'm sure
Urusan
don't force it too much.
Buster. Ketemu. Leo.
Ame BKB yo.
If they just stick around though, okay, they do find one of the wards. There was two different very dangerous wards that Falcons managed to get down. That was one in the triangle, the other one being in that lane off lane
Basar
position.
BKB.
Nobody on extreme will be caught by that yet.
Kok pusat tuh ya.
Kok bosan.
Agar tuh ya.
Still though found by Falcons, at least taking away some vision on both sides. It all comes down to this Roche, man, and we're gonna have BKB cores on both sides.
Oh, Lion.
Get the kill on the ward. Amar does not.
Bongo dia.
Tidak berhasil.
Bongo dia.
He doesn't want to fall behind Ame right now.
BKB Ursa.
Neither carry wants to just fully
Sudah.
invest into contesting this.
BKB.
Ame got to finish BKB. They got the double obs without anybody getting punished on that. That's a huge win for XG. That was a big smoke move from Falcons to get those wards up and try and use them to take a fight. You let them go down for free. You have one more around this pit top.
And if Falcons isn't going to make the move, then Extreme, maybe they'll be the ones to play on the offensive here. The smoke
Ya, dia sen. Ya.
Oh,
Enchantress.
Eul. Sayang sekali.
Oh dia. Ulti damage.
Boyo bersisi ya.
No, Eul.
Tidak berhasil dibunuh. Rusak.
Synchronized using for Extreme Gaming, they'll back away.
They might lose their last ward up here. XXS, they gave him the op sentry. Very smart. Don't sacrifice your positioning on these backline supports.
Ayo.
Seem to know Falcons ward spots very well.
They have no ops left. This is brutal for them.
An Aghanim Scepter is done for Amar though, so another peak for Falcons, perhaps another chance to take matters into their own hands.
The team fight's super strong for both teams. It's just about who wins first, and that's why the vision's so important. They lost all these wards, whereas XG, they have that ET to do a little scouting.
I mean, at this rate, we're going to get 2 or 3 more.
Fan mom BKB Eco Saber.
Nobody wants to man up for it first.
Hmm.
You get caught in that pit, it's absolute
Si daw Mars. Goodbye Mars. Po ya. BKB. BKB caw.
Double ults from Falcons for a BKB on XXS. I don't think that gives a clear enough advantage either way for these teams to force it.
Nope. Especially if the Mars gets gone on, you don't have a clear initiation as XG. They do buy a gem, which is interesting considering they just killed Green Wards and how much vision's left on the map. They really want to secure vision for the fight. flying out to X-Nova right now. But Falcons are getting a lot of items up during this period. Minus 120 on this Sven.
Panda besok jadi yo. Ada dalam so.
Upside for Malrine. He's on the best split
Gokil
hero
lagi.
in this match.
我睇thằng thằng trai Satanic network lebih dari 3.000 selisihnya. Tercomeback.
So momentum lah. Bởi gak Medusa tuh. Agar tuh cuma nak losi yo.
I think XG could have been more aggressive there with how much vision they brought down. Falcons playing a little scared. And now, like you said, that Roche going to the other side, it hurts. Especially if Falcons are willing to commit buybacks here, and you just can't man up for this as Ame. It's way too terrifying.
It's also going to be another Tormentor spawn. He didn't spot the ward. XXS saw a sentry, but the ward is on the other side of the tree there.
It's a good one.
Rosan pindah. Rosan pindah ke bawah.
Ke tower.
Tango agak. Sudah agak dia. Ame kok DRS oh. Blunder ya.
Boy nang bawa kontes. Bola ya.
Scan.
Oh. Pango lain.
Yo.
Podium ting setengah jam.
Podium ting game sofa.
Tanya Sven jadi.
Ember.
Sven kayak sih.
Oh ya, Tormentor ya.
Cok Daedalus ya.
Daedalus oh. Inang lay gue twin gate. Buat jadi.
Particularly X-Nova, who is always just shadowing Ame everywhere he goes. He's really not able to do anything else.
And I must apologize, Austin. We do have one Helmet Dominator.
Oh,
it snuck its way in. I don't know how we allowed it. I guess Jinkyu said this game is going to go late. I'm going to start farming up and push some waves. I mean,
support pun dominator.
Tapi penting untuk Cita tuh dominator tuh. Farming tools ah. Itu ting cue hard game yang kong teh sama no ya summon tengkorak ya. Ya make ya tia kau ah.
Oh.
Lepang cecek he neutral creep tok len ah. Lu ting jib hutan dia. Lu len này lui tetap kin lai.
Yo, kop. Oh boy. Anjir. Mati kopnya. Mati sekali dia. Ajay. Sih dia.
Tapi Eul aman. Oh.
Tidak out.
Ush, cancel yuk ETP.
Seven dong. Zero.
Oh.
Bad threat. Mati carry. Ini namanya throw. Pusuh. Sejap detik ya. Seven. Guys, no one
will create a larger differential between him and Ame. That's exactly what you want. This Sven Ursa matchup is generally not fun for the Sven. The farther this Ursa pulls ahead, the harder it is to take that fight, unless you can go ultra late with refreshers and satanics and that kind of nonsense.
Yeah.
Ame in control of the carry battle right now. Huge pickup for XG. I mean, that was a crazy blink from XM.
Parang may push eh. Subitak.
And if he doesn't get the Yules off on the Sven, like even though he dies, that little bit of delay, it made all the difference for Xnova to get there.
Push yung ting.
Very clutch Yules. And these Yules can become
Ame yung ting.
way later in this game. Yeah, that's the nice thing about them, and the win rate goes amazing against this Falcons lineup.
Still a bit worried though, even though the Sven has died. We've seen yesterday we saw the Lame Sven, 2,500 damage crits. I mean, you can get Wind Wakers, but can you react fast enough to stop that kind of burst damage?
Bayuso ya kini ya Enchantress.
Untouchable in this game. What is it? They can kill the Sven, but they can't stop the Enchantress.
I mean, it is called untouchable for a reason.
Lagi say liw ah.
You should not even waste your time. If Ame's there,
Untouchable.
it's a quick pick-me-up. Of course, yeah. But Ame doesn't want to commit his time to taking chances.
Yaw lah, hotwing yaw break enchant.
You just want to threaten.
Tapi i kay Wiz ay heal tua.
So he doesn't push as aggressively.
Thay thay chắc là liệu quá huy. Ay heal lah. Aduh. Tidak bisa di
Burst ya, break burst. Si liw ke. Wah, Ember em say. Ember nyaris.
Oh.
Hampir.
Itu satanik oh ya Ursa.
But Extreme content the pace of the game as it is. No, they're gonna smoke to the other side. Never mind. They're gonna go. They're beating out XM right now.
They want blood right now. Aegis is going to expire, but they finished that Abyssal. They finished Hex on the Mars and the BKB on the Queen. Huge item timing for XG. They're looking to strike. I mean, this is kind of been the MO of this game. Both teams hit their item timings. They look for a play, but the other team
Chubi.
dodge that moment until they
May
get
sat ga.
at some point that bounce will break here.
Cho kaya sangnya.
It's still gonna be effective, but there is a pipe.
Huge item
on Snake King. Big
Huge
pickup
item
for
against
him.
CT. Yeah, the aura is worth so much here.
This is kind of a weird position. We swapped
Oh, mati lagi kamu Panggo. Mati Panggo.
Hex. Tidak hex.
Meninggal begitu saja. Meninggal begitu saja.
Oh. Mars hex oh.
Ursa sudah abisal. Enak ek.
Ini tanmi ini.
RS kan bohong.
Iya.
Mati juga kamu mas. Cot ya. Tidak. Hukuin satu lagi. Ursa kak patay. Ursa kak patay. Oh siya ujita. Ursa payo na.
Door.
Ano, o jadi lah.
Thanks Jamo.
Pay a little bit of a price, but once Ame shows up to that fight, you're not taking it unless Skeeter is confident that the control is going to come through.
Yeah, considering that BKBs didn't have to be used for Extreme, this is a very deadly point. No Pango, everything up for Extreme. Being able to take the Mars off the bat, like you said it, like there's not really that much initiation for Extreme if there is no Mars.
They did get another D word off that though. Like Falcons are losing a lot of words to make these plays. It's really adding up.
You combine lack of vision with the Elder Titan, the vision advantage that Elder Titan's going to give you.
Sahes.
Some problems, but those problems, they can at least wait another minute or two.
Check dia.
Because really, there's
Ember.
Ember Chelsea Bob ya. Ember Chelsea Bob ya. Oh.
Tries to go fishing with this haster and see if he can find some hero up here farming up.
Abisal. Lihat dia dulu.
Jin-Q mega farm now. Finished an entire Lincoln Sphere.
Jangan chill kau beda.
I wouldn't say it's the best Lincoln
Siwa.
Sphere game. Not really good against the Pango Ember here.
Yeah, you're stopping this.
Wing no Lincoln.
You were trying to throw this on Ame or XM. Maybe even XXS, who's been getting jumped a lot. If you block that Sven stun, could be a huge deal in the fight, but it's a very expensive investment to look just for that.
Yeah. I mean, there's maybe little things like blocking
Echo Saber Sven.
range timing for an Ursa or something like that.
Harpun.
Could come into play, absolutely.
Level 25s are right around the corner for both of our carries.
Ame si Japan.
It's going to be a bit spooky as Roshan.
Langsung tan Rosan ya.
So aku coy ya.
Like the burst damage just becomes insane.
XG.
To me, if the fight goes long, this queen could be a big problem for Falcons. In theory, their answer to a long fight is, Pango Ember, bringing that same sort of attrition, just constant spell spam.
Yeah.
But the way the fights have been going is, it feels like one of those cores just gets bursted. I think you still want to jump this Sven in to almost give them better entry into the fight.
If you get to a
Smoke lagi, smoke. Tidak. Kok kan Ursa?
Oh, I think they can. It's just execution.
Boleh
Can
deh.
you kite out those little moments? Can you dodge the jump from Ame? Does someone control him?
Leo.
He's trying to go in and burst
Elder Titan.
while he's committing.
Titan
ya.
Things like this.
Oh, break.
Can you find supports?
Break.
You take X Nova out,
Eh?
you remove a lot of the amp damage.
Ember break.
Bocin.
Falcons not to find anything.
Kok.
Pick off there could have led to control the Roshan pit. A swift blink.
Oh.
Lihat SG.
Tan
Ngocap
Rosan
detik.
stun.
Prepared for this next fight. 50 seconds for that Roche spawn. Pretty
Ngocap
fast.
detik.
Falcons just trying to
Cheater.
they have this one
Tuh.
ward towards mid. They have a gem up. Trying to hold this high ground. There's a sneaky Radiant ward behind this tree line over here too. Could be really pivotal if you scout someone in the river.
Oh yeah.
Not an easy obs to D-ward.
Ooh, Swift Blink. Ursa.
XG just waiting. They're playing patient right now. Trying to finish up the last few items to go into this next Roshan battle. It's going to be A on disc for XM. Something to watch out for. He gets jumped by the Sven. He assembles that disc. The jump is gone.
And you pretty much can't afford a bad jump for this Sven, right? It almost feels like the fight is over if he jumps the wrong person and can't kill them.
Or if he jumps, stuns, goes to hit, Ame jumps, abyssals him.
Buyback main.
That's an easy turnaround. Sure, you're going to throw out the sonic waves.
Cuman Mars ka.
Leo kop.
Almost has to, the way the lineup functions.
Oh.
Kop kam say.
And he's going to go for XM, but I think they know about the Aeontis.
Oh.
Boisi.
Falcons, but XM holds off on putting the Aeontis together. They'll TP away on the
Ah, malah pun XG. Pun Ame kot Rosan ke. Ya, bobo. Nice. Maju ekstrim.
Demi Arcana.
Arkanaku padamu. Oh, Leo Ember. Ember mati, Ember.
Lihat okay.
Oh, Ember TMC Leo. Sven Thiệu. Hager, cop.
Oh.
Cop bộ Ion à. Cop bộ Ion.
Kak pula ya timing ah.
Tiệu pa Sven. Tiệu Ursa pa sih.
Ya.
Lo tiap GG ya BPG.
Proto.
Salah ketik GG aja.
Proto pangu.
Sinang. Mah tiap GG gitu.
Anu buyback ya nah. Selama buyback tidak akan GG.
That ET amps it all up. You get hit by that Earth Splitter. One last bash from the Ursa and you're gone. Nobody to bail you out of that situation. A deep dive goes wrong for him.
Ursa sudah dapat Aegis. Jam no kayak tower boleh. Tuh ya.
Dia tidur.
To it, but first they have to close out this game.
Opener. Seven bawa kìa. Masih bisa push coy. Mati lagi Enchantress. Meninggal dunia dalam sekejap ditampar. Masih sadar. Habis. Pulang.
Buyback dulu lah. Buyback belum kepake.
Oh. Nang bawa jadi push sih. Nang bawa vision. Bawa make kapus.
It didn't start easy in this game, and it doesn't feel like it's getting any better. It's just so much control for him to play through, and this is kind of the downside of Ember. He doesn't pack a big enough punch to go in and be a threat during his BKB that XG can't deal with it. So you have to play for the long fight. And yeah, somebody is getting caught in the control, and nobody is challenging this Ame Ursa right now. He is just running a rampage through this game. Ag's done as well. How do you kill this guy? Feels impossible.
Kinda does. You're gonna have to wait 2.5 minutes because killing him is gonna take some sort of initiation, and I don't think they'll be able to pull that off twice. I mean, they have like no instant stuns. The best you have is Sven, Blink, melee range, Stormhammer.
But that, he has
Rolling Thunder, Blink initiation, but
you cannot jump him anymore. It's impossible. He will always get Ags and Rage off. You have no.
So special.
Like you said, 2 minutes on this Aegis XG. They can force high ground again. They can look for that game-ending fight.
So their only option in Falcons is to make the jump on the Ursa, reset, and high ground defense is the best possible place to make a play like that, right?
Yep, especially if you can abuse buybacks. It's one way to try and force that team fight win. They do not have a lot available right now. It's only that Ember Spirit. Sometimes it's enough with the high ground positioning. Ideally, you make a jump on somebody, you take them down, you reset, and then this Pango can control Ursa a little bit with the Basher, the Ags rolls going through. It's kind of your hope right now that ATF has a monster team fight on this high ground.
They said luxury items were coming in.
Mati lagi Enchantress. Bawa dangkah kan ni Ursa.
Ya kay Mars timing bagus ah. Ito ay
Untuk
Ame.
lihat ya cek dah. Oh, lihat oke. Refresher ya.
Skitter. Hama buyback ya.
Sven bebek. Kuya me ya guys.
Bo ulti si Sven bo ulti. Bo got string. Oh, bo yung meme guys.
guys. Tuần chập đất tị đấy guys à. Em chạy. Cho mẹ cái à. Nâng cầm của cậu. Ý tâm. Ursa.
Pierde buyback ya. Ilang kaki ya. Buyback yung engage.
You can't wear through the front line here. Bear is just too much of a menace right now. You need more sustain, you need more damage. There's another great shard for XG to pick up. I don't think I've seen a spear miss outside of maybe the one top on that open arena. Just hit every single one. There's another Aeon disc for this Sven to deal with. No nullifier in sight.
Level 25 on XXS, 180 HP regen inside the arena of blood. But if they can take
Mẹ Mars sẽ ulti.
Cooldown chạy huế đi à. Thì nàng long trong Ion à.
Liều Enchantress. Liều Enchantress. Boy ya. Sven suy. Mati lagi hole aja. Sven bộ BB à. Sven bộ BB oh. Đã là kiểu mấy tiệm ghê đây. Udah lah GG tiap GG ya. Pasti tiap GG. Nó đang bộ BB. Super. BB kìa xịt cận kìa.
Oh, Ember buyback oh.
That's a free kill.
Coba.
Buyback kayak gini.
Not expect the damage, but there's that magic amp combination. Yeah, just so nasty when he's on top of you. Now Ame, he gets a free trip to the high ground. Says thanks for the setup, boys. All clean house. Amar broke through. He's sitting on the other side of the map going, I can't cut all these ways. Extreme gaming
Megakan.
Megas out of this. They should be able to end the game. Unless Falcons
Amar tuh, ya pi may tengah.
Amar, they do need to get backdoor protection up. But the mid lane is going to push in.
Ya, kurir.
Unless Amar can get there with the rolling thunder. He's not popping in. He's trying with the swap.
Menggelinding tanpa arti di sana buat apa dia?
Rolling Thunder.
Block wave ya.
He makes a swift retreat. Did he just buy Falcons the time they needed? Backdoor should come up here. Glitch goes up. This will guarantee it. Amar with some nice moves on his mid lane. Stalls for the other
Backdoor protection.
And Extreme Gaming get through the backdoor protection though. They're gonna try.
Leo kìa hòa. Ember.
Chạy Huế đấy à? Ember. BBBB của bộ đăng. Phải heo ya.
Free up that last racks. You're looking at Megas very shortly here. They know that's a dieback on this Ember. A butterfly for him. All right. All on ATF here. Refresher delivered from Mango does have the
Behelo, ursa helo. Butterfly.
Falcons, they did their
Mau dipukul pakai apa?
protection is going to go down again unless they can jump the Ursa now and kill him. This is going to be Megas.
Baiki gak? Wah, sepensi. Fan ditampar begitu saja. Behel tiap GG loh ya. Behel tiap GG. Tiap GG mah. Udah GG wah. Sampai jumpa ronde 2.
2 game lagi XG.
A confident game 1 victory, to say the least. These guys were feeling themselves.
Semoga berkelanjutan. Arkanaku padamu.
They won that top lane in dominant faction.
Akankah game 2?
Oke.
Lanjut.
Pakai saya.